Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of How the Culture Gets It Wrong. It's our podcast on dating, sex, and relationship insights with myself, Andre Paradis, my lovely assistant, Tess Listig.
Hi, guys.
This evening, this is our first,
So excited.
first guest star in the studio, my good friend and client, Davene Teeter.
Hey, guys.
Davene in the house. And then Nancy, my wife, is joining us as well. So we have like a what do you call it? A foursome. For the first time.
Sure,
Yes.
we can call it that.
I guess I'm eye rolling. I don't know. Did I say something wrong? We're just thinking
I was
four
thinking
of us.
more tribe, but you know.
What is the four
That
times?
works. Yeah.
First time we have four mics going at the same time on the topic and a podcast. And I think that's freaking fantastic and exciting. And again, first time with a guest star. Davene, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
So how this kind of took place is last week we did a podcast called He Chooses You, You Don't Choose Him, right? We talked about how like it's really ultimately a man's prerogative to, he has to be enchanted by you enough to go after you. You can't make a man go after you. You can't do anything. You know, you can magnetize him your way. You can make him sort of see you as like this beautiful, feminine, whatever. But he ultimately has to go. Let me go after her. Like he's gonna.
Right.
You can't make a guy do anything. There's a paradigm of being masculine. Masculinity is I do what I do. I choose to do what I do when I want to do it. When I feel like it, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about it, and I don't care what you think about it. Like it's just right.
Yeah.
So the idea that you can make men do anything, not so much. You know what I mean? Especially in the realm of a woman in a relationship. So that's how we started. Like, you know, the idea of like strong, independent, and powerful women is fantastic. In a relationship, it does not work. You cannot go after him.
Right,
and then
right.
we talk about, if you haven't listened to the podcast, go check it out because we talk about all the horrible things that happen when you go after him. And if you convince him to stick around, but he's not really into you, and there's all these, you know, you gotta feel this like, you're gonna know something is off, you're gonna know something is, you know, it won't be this sort of warm, fuzzy, like, you know, this is my man. I'll be like, this guy's just sticking around and he doesn't seem to like me very much.
Right.
And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
you know, and
Oh, yeah.
right? So that's last week. So if listeners, if you haven't heard it, you know, that's sort of part one of this evening's podcast. So what happened is within last week's podcast topic, and you know, I was talking about some of my clients, they kind of went from here to there, and then a lot of it was Davene without saying her name. And then as I talked to Davene this week, I said, listen, this is a first guest. This first time we have actually an open mic for a guest. Do you want to? Boom, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
fantastic. Here we are.
Welcome.
I love
So
it.
yeah, so we're gonna talk about your story. This was gonna be
Yes.
about you in the realm of, you know, as a woman, the challenge, and I freaking get it because I see it, and I see the turmoil and the pain and the confusion of not be at the effect of all the shit, excuse my French, that the culture feeds at you that doesn't work, right? So I want to start with this, but I want to start with your personal challenge, which Davene lost 80 pounds, you know,
That's
from,
impressive. That's awesome.
I've seen pictures, it's impressive, right? And that was like challenge number one. And tell us what that was for you, how that started, and what you thought it was going to accomplish, and then the story from here will take it to the end, which is what's happening today.
Oh gosh, honestly, I don't even, thinking back, I don't even know what I thought it was going to accomplish. I just knew that I'd been overweight for most of my life. I mean, definitely up and through till the end of high school. And then that's when I joined a gym, and even then I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I kind of found fitness, like 8 years ago, because I just honestly was sick of the back and forth. Like, you lose weight, then you don't, then you gain it back, and I just felt like I never had a handle on it, and I really wanted that change. So I started making changes, and then I got more seriously into fitness about 4 years ago, and man, it's weird to even think about it, because I don't even, that girl that I was doesn't even feel like me anymore. Like, it feels like that was someone else's life. Like, that was someone else's life. Like, I don't even, I'm that girl, but I'm not that girl.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. But was there, the reason for losing the weight was what?
I just want to take care of myself, I think. And of course, like any person really, there's like that aesthetic side of it where you're like, I want to look good in clothes. I want to feel good about myself. I want to, and then over time, I think I just also fell in love with the way that it made me feel. Like I think it definitely has fed into other areas of my life where I go to the gym now because it's a release for me. Like it's a mental release, and I enjoy pushing myself, and
obviously,
that's the fun part of it.
Because I think at one point you and I had this conversation about this, the idea of changing your body was going to change your life. Am I right?
I guess a lot of people, you know, I forgot about that. Yeah, like, I think that's probably always in the back of my head. Well, once I get fit, then things will kind of start to change.
With life, possibility, man, relationship,
yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. It makes
Yeah, absolutely.
sense. So first you go after the body.
Yeah.
You conquer the body. She conquered the body. Like, this woman looks good, you guys. Go check out her Facebook if you want.
Strong,
She's strong. I used to deadlift next to her, and she would deadlift more than me.
Oh
I felt like a
That's crazy.
bitch next to her. And she weighs 110 pounds, right? What do you weigh?
I weigh like 124.
Whatever,
That's
right?
amazing.
Like, you know, she's like little frame.
She's channeling.
And then like lifting this, and I like, wow, like if she could do this, what the hell's wrong with me, right? So, and it's interesting. It was this funny competition without being competition, but you know what I mean? Like this, what she's doing is working. And again, it's not talking about self-care, right? Because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about, when for women to be healthy and have healthy boundaries and be able to like not get sucked in the damn culture and you know, and caught up in I should, and you know, if you're not with a relationship, then you're less than, and all this stuff. And but that's torturous. You know, this is torturing thing that you have by comparing yourself to everything around you, right? As opposed to take care of yourself, right? Really, like she did, take care of herself, like down to like primary her first, because you know, and I think often women have this feeling that if they're too, what's the word? Like the self-care is selfish. You with me?
Totally.
Yeah.
Right? Self-care is
Yeah.
selfish. You should take care of everybody else and be kind of everything else, and you
Yes.
kind of put yourself last and everything. You know what I mean? Like the same way, it's funny, but the same way you forget to go pee because you're so caught up in everything else that everybody needs, which I think is insane from a boy's point of view, right? But like you kind of do that thing where selflessness, you know, puts you at the back of the line, and really the only way for you to be good, so you can be good in the world with us, with men, with anybody, is when you put yourself first. But it sounds selfish, and it's not selfish. It's you first to be good for the rest of us. You know, like put the oxygen mask on you first before you can attend to children.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's really where I think you went to completely. Self-care, you know, and develop like this sense of like, then what else, then what else, then what else, then what else. So from there, so we have the body handle, right? And then now we're in the world, live in Los Angeles, right? Looking for relationships, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. When I first moved out here 6.5 years ago, I just gotten out of a long-term relationship,
Right.
which nearly thinking back at the time, nearly destroyed me.
Oh.
And I think after that, that's where I went on a hunt to be like, okay, what went wrong? How can I fix this? I want it to be different next time. And so I did. I sought out advice, and I think because of the way the culture is, it kind of, like, I learned a lot, but it almost did a disservice to me, I feel like, over the years.
Also.
Because there's just so many, there's so ingrained in the culture already of, like, you have to be this, you have to do that, you have to, there's a lot. Like, it almost becomes like a checklist of, like, don't initiate, don't talk to the guy, let him do this.
Right.
Let him pay for everything. And yes, okay, some of those things are helpful and beneficial, but
Did it feel gamey?
it felt gamey.
And that we can sense all that, by the way. Right?
Absolutely gamey. And unfortunately, because of who I am, you know, it's like if I want to fix something, I got to go out there and get it done, right?
Sounds like you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So feeding off of even some of those dating coaches that are like, well, if you want to find someone, you got to get out there and you got to date all the time because it's a numbers game. And yes. But then it almost becomes, and I think we've talked about this in the past, where it almost becomes like, like you have an agenda. You know, you're gonna go out. I'm gonna find someone. I'm gonna make this happen.
Now, is that feminine or masculine?
I would say it's more masculine.
Yeah, right.
And it's exhausting.
It burns you out.
You get burnt out, and then you become bitter, and then you keep talking to people, and it's just over and over again, not necessarily a great experience, probably for both sides.
Right, because part of what's in the culture right now, and you see that it's everywhere. You go, girl. You're a badass. You know, make this happen. Don't just sit there. You know what I mean? You like a guy, go right up to him. Part of the topic last week: disaster waiting to happen. Right. Uncomfortable, beyond uncomfortable for women to push forward like this, right? And ultimately, like, and I do understand though. I do because I see it all the time. The idea of like, we went on a date and he's not calling me, he's not texting me. Damn it! Like, so when I see you again, right? There's a text. When do I see you again? Like the idea, the wanting to close the gap. As a woman, the connection is always more important. Like you want the connection, you want to connect, get it, right? And then put that on top of like this need to connect and this badass go girl and go after him. The problem with that, ladies, for us men, it's fucking irritating. Stop fucking texting. Stop fucking texting. It's fucking irritating. That's why you get the one-word answer back.
Totally.
Right? I get 2 pages and you get like, okay, like get it.
Oh, we feel bad.
Stop
Oh yeah.
texting.
I've definitely been.
Yeah.
I've definitely been
me
that girl.
too.
Yeah.
And explaining and it goes
Oh
on
my
and on and on and on. Don't fucking do this. This is how you turn a guy off, by the way, right? Because he's gonna choose, he's gonna move, you know what I mean? The masculine ones anyway, the feminine ones, we know that they want you to do all the work. This blows for you, this sucks for you, because you never really stand with a guy like this, right? So truly, the right guy will decide. So your job is not to go after him and go, when do I see you again? Is to magnetize him your way, right? There's a complete other dynamic. It's not being masculine, it's being feminine. And in the culture, that shit doesn't exist, right? Nobody teaches you how to be feminine. No one teaches you how to be feminine. Who's a feminine role model out there right now? Ladies, right? There's 3 of you.
We're struggling to find.
There's no such thing,
No,
right?
there's no
Who's
such
a
thing.
feminine role model, right?
Jackie O. We have to go back. No one right now.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
right, Jackie O. Seriously, like, and I think
No,
you're probably right. Because in the culture now, it's like, handle it, go for it. You're badass, right? What's
You
going on?
deserve it.
You deserve it,
Yeah.
right? You don't just get to sit there.
Right.
Oh yeah, because I feel like I even grew up in a household like that, where it's
Right.
like, I'm a woman, so you better do these things for me. You know what I mean? Like
right,
that.
right.
I feel like that kind of exists
Yeah.
in the culture too,
Oh,
where we
wow.
have like,
So,
like I don't even know how to fully put words to it, but I see this all the time.
so sometimes the expectation of what the guy needs to be.
Yes.
What I see all the time is that, again, in the culture, I'm not blaming anybody, but a lot of women have this expectation he's supposed to be this, supposed to be this, supposed to be this. However, not one woman in the culture, because it's not part of our culture, knows what makes a man want to do that,
Exactly.
right? Like, you have to do your part for him to do this. If you want him to step up, take care of you, protect you, be around you more than be left alone. I say this all the time. There's something that he's looking for. There's something that he needs for this. But it's an exchange,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be like, if you don't refuse to do the part that he needs, and nobody knows what the hell that is, by the way, because it's all about you girls. I hate to say, you know what I mean? If you don't know what he needs, he won't step up, and then you'll blame him for being a noodle, a lame ass, not committal,
Exactly.
right? Like, cheap ass, and all this shit. That's not it. You have to do your part to trigger him to step up and be the man.
Yes.
If you won't let him, or if you demand on him, it's not happening.
No.
And then, you see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
this
absolutely.
is where the culture has it wrong right now. So there's these expectations, and go ahead, baby.
Yeah, well, I feel, and this came up last week, is those specifics, of what do you do to have a man step up and do this part? And what do you do to have a man choose you? And it's almost like it can't be intentional, you just have to be.
Exactly.
So that came up last week, and we were, inadvertently talking about you.
Yeah.
So here you are with us right
Yeah.
now, and I think we're dying to know,
Yeah,
like, this
gosh.
transition within you, in your soul. What was that? Is it?
So I think I used to approach dating from a place of agenda and closing the gap. because I was that girl that if I didn't hear from you for several days, I would freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I thought it was something wrong with me, when really it wasn't. It was either probably it wasn't a good match, or I was just so eager to close the gap that they could feel that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey, man.
So, man, it's been a journey, but I think it finally just started to click when I realized, oh, all I have to do is be myself. Like, truly, just be myself. Don't try to get them to like me, because I guess I'm sure every woman has done that at some point in time. Well, maybe if I'm funny enough, or I say the right thing, or if I ask the right questions to like, so he thinks like I'm an interesting conversationalist, or he thinks I'm intelligent, or he thinks I'm strong, or like again in the culture, like if I'm an independent woman, he's gonna like I really truly thought that at some point.
Of course.
Like I've men like really independent women. And I think to a degree, but not like in a relationship. Like he appreciates you that you're out in the world and you're going after what you want,
Yes.
but not in a relationship. So, gosh, honestly, for me, it's just been kind of really, truly letting go of expectation. And it took a while to get here. It really did, because I had to do some major inner work of trying to figure out why I really needed those expectations. You know?
Wow. So I want to say, go ahead. You have something to say?
I was just gonna say, was it kind of like one like revelation, or you said it took a while? Did it happen like over time for you?
I think it happened over time, and even some of the
I was watching.
I know, even some of the conversations that I had with Andre, where I think maybe I kind of knew that I needed to let things go, but I wasn't really living it.
Okay.
You know, I was still trying to go after and like make a relationship happen. I was terrified to be by myself. Even though I was by myself for like 6 years, I was still terrified of not making that happen. And maybe even embarrassed, honestly. I don't know if a lot of women feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
When a relationship isn't going the way you want, you almost feel embarrassed.
Like you failed?
Yeah, like you failed.
You're not getting
Because I want to say, I think the way I saw it on you, and I see it on other clients, that the feeling of you know, I'm not good enough, so I have to compensate with all this stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which
Totally.
for man, it looks like, what the hell are you trying to do? You know, because how many relationships? I know you've had a few relationships that the first 3 months were fantastic,
Oh.
and then went down the toilet.
Absolutely. I was the girl that would have like a month or 3 month relationship, and I remember like talking to girlfriends. I'm like, well, I surpassed month 2. Like that's big news.
Right,
like,
right,
you know,
right.
Or I surpassed date 4. Like, oh my gosh,
Right.
maybe this could be something. And that was a problem too. I get so latched onto the idea of a person than actually. I think we do this too, where we're like, well, he matches this box, he matches that box,
Right,
check, instead of actually being like, no, like, are we compatible? Like, that's another thing too.
Well, and I remember saying this to you. I remember we talked about it, you and I back then. I don't know if you recall completely the way I remember, like printed on my brain that, you know, the first 3 months is always easy, right? Everybody's on the best behavior. You get to know it's fun. There's a lot of chemistry, right? All the goodies are all there, you know. And then you could be in that. I know I could see it in you. Like you could be feminine and let go and let him be and just be. Everybody enjoy each other. It's fantastic. And then where's this going? Like, where the hell is this going? You know what I mean? And
Totally.
Because by 3 months, there's a standard thing, by the way. Women have a big problem with this, but like the idea of like men coming at you for 3 months is like, you know, in first dating, they're very attentive. They're very, you know, mindful. They call you much more than they ever do anybody else. And then, but usually after 3 months, this phase, because he can't really live there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
As a man, like there's this life to be done. There's work to be done, right? So there's that, like losing yourself in the beginning. We all do. Right? You go to La La Land and then we're going to get married. He goes into, wow, she's fantastic. But then reality comes back in and we have to readjust, which to you looks like he's pulling back. Or then he's losing his mojo.
Yeah.
He's losing, you know, like his attraction to you. No, he's adjusting back to his life, right? And then that's when, and I think I've a lot of my clients have done this, and I think I've seen you. That would be exactly what you did. You tell me that then all of a sudden you go and go, okay, what's going on?
Yes.
So then I have to like change something. I have to
Yes.
make it work. I have to make it happen. Like
Yes.
he's slipping away. So let me
Yep.
just be more of this, more of that, more of this, more of that. And what happens to me, to us, man, when you do this, is we go into what the hell happened to the girl that I first started dating 3 months ago? Where did she go? This is like a
Yes.
like edgy mess of a woman
Yes.
who's, where did my girl go?
Right.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
flat. And then he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't want to be around that.
Yeah.
You with me? Am I right?
I can't even, oh gosh, I've lost track of how many
Of you-
situations I had like that.
Just like that.
Where, and you know, what we do as women, by date 4, we've already married him in our head.
I know.
You know,
I know.
so.
I know.
So true.
And then we think like, oh, because he's doing this and this, like, he must not be dating other people, and so I'm gonna make him the center of my world, and I'm gonna, anytime he wants to see me, I'm gonna make sure I can see him, even
right.
if it's like not convenient for me.
It's midnight and you
yeah.
want to sleep, but you're going to get in the car
Like
and go,
I think of a relationship I did have, gosh, probably a year and a half ago.
Oh.
I was seeing someone, I think we dated for like 4 months, and we were dating each other exclusively. And I would do that thing. Like, I was working at a gym at the time, and I'd have to be at the gym at like 6 a.m, but then I'd go over and sleep at his house. But then I would have to, like, it was taxing on me, because then I'd have to get up extra early, then go home to get ready, and like, he could just sleep in. So like, I was not taking care of myself.
And what's the cost? What's that cost you?
And then I started to become anxious, because I'm like, well, where is this? And then the where is this going part comes in, and then I just wasn't myself.
Right.
You know,
See, it turns
I
you inside. It turns you
I wasn't
inside out.
myself. I was constantly worried of like, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And I'm sure even not in dating scenarios, every one of us has been in that situation where there's just something kind of off with someone. You're just not comfortable around them,
Absolutely.
and that's
what.
probably what happened.
That's usually that. I say this all the time. That's what men sense. You know, we can date the first date, second, whatever.
Yes.
When you get squirrely, when you're uncomfortable, when you either have an attitude on a date, that happens all the time. A date where you're sitting going, go ahead, prove it. Are you different than the other guys? Like, whatever's going on in your head, he's picking up. Now, you can't tell you
Yeah.
what it is
So
exactly.
right,
It's just that
right.
the energy's off. So she was lovely, but
Subtle.
yeah, she was cool, but that yeah, no, right? Like this, like when you're off, when
right.
you're not really completely like, okay,
Yeah.
and then right, like he's having a good time. It's funny things, and he's having a good time. He's talking, he's laughing, everything seems fine. You seem to be connected. He gets in his car, goes, yeah, she was cool, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
You can't explain it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So this changed for you. We were talking last podcast about how now you are with someone else.
Yeah, I have
So
a
how did that
boyfriend.
start, and how is it?
I have a boyfriend, and this is the first.
Ah, sorry. I mean,
No,
like,
it's
you don't
fine.
understand. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I was in that the whole time. I feel a little
so funny.
responsible. Yes. Even, of course it's all her, but but I
Voice in the
saw
ear.
her change.
Wow.
I freaking saw her change in front of my eyes. She went from what the fuck. I give up. I'm done with this shit, this bullshit, and I go, no, you'll be all right. No, you'll be all right, right? Just let it go, chill out, take care of you, and this is what you want, so just easy, right? And how many times? Back and
Oh
forth,
gosh,
back and
I
forth,
can't
back and
even
forth.
tell
And
you
then,
how many times.
And then, this was about 7 months ago. 6 months ago, 7 months ago. The shift happened.
Yeah, I think so.
I know, I watched
Yeah.
it. Now, can you describe it? Because I saw it, but I don't know if you could describe it.
I think I honestly probably had just reached that place. I was kind of trying to do long distance with someone, and that was just still in itself a mess. Because again, there's a whole backstory to that, but wasn't also putting myself first in that situation.
Right.
And, kind of letting someone walk all over me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I think we all can do sometimes. And
No.
that's not attractive in itself. I don't know. I think I finally just reached that place of like, you know what? I'm really comfortable in myself. If it happens, cool. But I kind of just started to reach a place where like, I kind of just want to hang out with my friends. And that's another thing that actually changed. I started to make like my friendships with my girlfriends a priority, and like making sure I was filled up that way.
Right. That's important.
Taking care of myself.
Right. I was going to say that's part of self-care. Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I've been in relationships before where I just make it all about them.
Yes.
And that is so easy to get into for me, and I hate that.
So I saw it happen. And all of a sudden, like, it's crazy because I walk into the gym because that's when we see each other, right? And whether she's in the corner in a deadlift rack on a treadmill, because it's one or the other, right? And like from across the room, we go, oh, wow, she's good today. Like, she feels really good today. Like, I could pick it up, right?
Wow.
I know. It's like I'm looking at her going, yeah, okay, girl, right? You got this. And so what's going on? I'm just feeling really good today. And it was a self-care and a let go
Okay.
of, what was it let go? Let go of expectations or trying to force things?
I was done trying to force things and make a relationship happen. I truly got into the place where I'm like, I'm okay by myself. Like, of course, I want to be in a relationship and build something with someone, but I'm okay by myself.
Was there anything else in the background that I didn't see? Because I know you go to the gym, that is self-care. You like anything other than or special that you added? Because I saw it happen. Like, there was almost like, okay, hold on. It was like I want you to land into you. That's all I can explain. Like, I just, poof, like, I'm good. I'm okay. Everything's fine. I got it together. I get my stuff together, right? You always did, but it's almost like you landed into your soul.
That's a good way of putting it. I think just like a true self-happiness, you know?
So how does a woman get there? Because they were going to ask, because that's really where
I think it really kind of goes back to, like, finding the things that you like. Like, truly find the things that you like. Not because of what you think someone's going to like you for.
Right.
But, like, what do you like to do? Do you like to go out with your girlfriends?
Right.
Do you like to sit home and watch Netflix? That's, like, if that's your thing, like, sit home and watch Netflix. Do you like to go to the gym? Like, truly ask yourself, what do you like to do outside of someone else?
Right.
Because I think I really was the focus of everything in my life was like relationship. Everything I read, relationship. I was so focused on it that I didn't really know what made me happy.
What I saw happen, ladies, because I know the mechanism, what she did is by the time she let go of forcing things, trying things, and judging herself for not having the relationship, and you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Straight up. I saw it. When she let go, that all of a sudden there's a breath.
Yeah.
Right? And with that, it's like she started doing the things, continuing the things, but all of a sudden there's no weight to it. The things that she needs to be good in the world, right? And then all of a sudden, seriously, what I saw was the light came on. It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
It gives me goosebumps. The light came on, and then the same woman has a different aura, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at you and I'm smiling. So it means everybody who looks at you gets a smile because, how many times I said on the podcast?
Yeah.
Because we tap into your energy.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
when you feel good, we feel good.
Yeah.
When you're happy, we feel good to be around you because you're happy. You're lighthearted. Like you're like this uplifting energy, right?
Yeah.
Like when you when you feel sexy, you're just sexy. Like it's just whatever you got going on, we somehow feed right into it. So the opposite is edgy, tweaked out, uncomfortable, it's squirrely, bitchy if you want. Like, what is that going to do, right? So when that happened, you know what I mean? I'm like, I watch me react to her, right? And sort of the buzz around her, I'm like, this is coming. Now, like, these men are coming.
Yeah. And
men
they
are
did.
coming.
They did.
And then, right, they did. And then the problem with that often with ladies, which is sometimes scary, is they all come.
They
the
all
good,
come.
The good, the bad, and the
Yes.
uglies,
Okay.
right?
Is
They
that,
all-
so tell us what happened.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
now you have to sort it out. And then?
So, I mean, I guess for like 9 months, I like really took a break from dating because I've definitely used dating apps, and that's how I actually met my now boyfriend. So anyone who says those things don't work, you're just a way to meet people.
Yeah.
But so once this change happened, I mean, I allowed myself to go on dates, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I have to go on a date.
Right.
So as they came, I'm sure there's a lot of great guys that I met over the past like 6 months, I would say, but there was always like a thing where I was like, and I remember talking to you about this.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, yeah, he's cool, but I don't think it's the right person.
It's not a fit.
It's not a fit. So I think I started to recognize in myself, do I actually enjoy being with this person, instead of like, I need to make this person my boyfriend right now because I don't want to be alone.
Nice.
That's great.
So like, does this person actually match me? Can this person actually be in a relationship? Does this person have the ability to like talk to me about difficult things, you know, all the things that make a relationship actually function? Do we have fun together? You know, instead of, again, making sure he marked all the boxes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's not, the thing is, that's, you know, some coaches teach women to make the list, you know, the list.
Right.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So the list is like, he's going to be tall and handsome and dark and drive a BMW and make 100, you know, like, and I go, fuck your list. Fuck your list. Are you fucking kidding me? Your list is a unicorn, you know?
Know what's
Yeah.
funny though?
But yours was different.
Know what's funny with that though?
Tell me.
I kind of did make a list, and my now boyfriend, like the important things, pretty much like matches this list.
Right.
Yeah, the
thing,
important,
right.
right,
The important-
right.
oh,
That's
yeah.
the distinction.
What I'm
important
talking
things.
about is like, it's
Right.
not superficial stuff. It's
Totally.
core stuff.
Core.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? As a person,
Yes.
as a human being, as a
Yes.
man in your life, these are the things that you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a different than a, you know, they call it the list with like, because the list will go for 6 miles long and
Oh,
no
yeah.
one can fit the
No.
list. And
It's ridiculous.
so, interesting enough that, how do I say this? Like, because you were solid, because you were grounded, because you landed back into you in a way that was so organic. I hate that word. God, I hate that word. But, you know, it's so LA, organic.
Right. No, it's true.
But you
It's so
did.
true.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like, there was no compromising you anymore. So then it needed to be a guy who fit that, as opposed to you trying to fit him.
Yes.
You with me?
Yes.
Ladies, I think I just found the magic.
That's amazing.
How do I say it? So when you find your boundaries and you find your mojo and
Yes.
your stuff and what it is that you are and what you value, and as a person, it's not about becoming a fit for him. He has to get a fit for you. And again, he's going to keep coming
Yes.
Wow.
after the energy when you're, because, you know, that's sexy, right? When you're
Yeah.
authentic and confident. Well, you know, confidence is number one, like, sexy thing on a woman.
Yes.
Which confidence comes from knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Knowing you are means you know your boundaries. Knowing your boundaries means, you know, no to this and yes to this, right? So it's not bitchy, it's not mean. It's actually like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And somebody can hang on and grasp onto that because that's solid, that's confidence. And then the guy goes, whoa, right? And you go, yeah, not you. Well, even though, you know, and ultimately the right guy, then you go, right? Then we'll do all the step 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like, this is
Yeah.
Which you were telling us earlier that he said certain things that other guys haven't,
Yeah,
and
man, this guy, like, just the right match. Like he told me last night. Like again, it's one of those things where it's just right. It's right. You don't have to do anything. You really don't. Like
Wait.
first, you don't have to do anything.
there it is.
wait, I get it. I
So
think
easy. Yeah.
it's, so say more. I mean, like,
Okay.
that, like, to women, like, what the hell does that mean?
So, I mean, okay, so we had our first date, and even last night he was telling me, he's like, yeah, first date, I was like, yeah, this is my girl. Like,
Oh my god.
and I was like, yeah, you're cool, you're different, I can tell, but it didn't click for me. Second date, that's when it's kind of started to click. I was like, oh, okay. But doing anything, like, I've treated him like he's my friend from the get-go, you know? I haven't tried to get him to like me. If I'm busy or I want to go home, I go home. Like, I'm not trying to convince him that he needs to be with me. Like, even, you know, probably a couple weeks into dating, he's like, I'm not dating anyone, but if you want, you can date someone. So kind of already being like, I kind of want this, but let's take this slow. I'm not ready to put labels on it. I was like, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. Like, honestly, truly, I was not worried, like, about him calling me his girlfriend. I was like, I just enjoyed his company. I didn't do anything. And this man from the get-go was like, every single day. texting me every single day. When do I get to see you again? Like,
That's amazing.
when
Wow.
do I get to see you
What a
again?
success
Just
story.
like can't
Hands up.
can't
Hands
get
up.
enough of me. And like even just the things like I don't do anything other than just make him feel like he makes me happy. Like, let him know that he makes me happy. I support him. I don't try to tell him what he should do or shouldn't do. Like, even the little things like, babe, should I shave my face? It's like, if it makes you happy, shave your face. I mean, I kind of like the facial hair, but if you don't want it, that's fine. Like, little things like that where
Yeah.
I'm like, you can be your own person. I'm not going to dictate who you are because I love you for you.
Right.
I'm not going to try to change
Damn it,
that.
That's amazing.
Damn it, that's good.
That's
you see
amazing.
Yeah, and
There
even
we
that,
go.
like in response
Yeah.
to that, even last night, he was telling me, you know, like you just let me be me, and I'm not used to that on any level.
wow.
Like you let me be me. You never push me. You're always like whatever you want to do. Like I'm not trying to control him.
Yeah, it
it?
sounds like
And
you.
that's, I want to tell you, that's the magic. I don't know if you want to go.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like you guys have respect for each other.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge.
And then you know what the crazy thing is too?
Yeah.
Like because I don't have expectations of him, he actually wants to do more.
More.
Like
I knew
he
you were gonna say that.
for New
I knew you were
Year's
gonna say that.
he went to Vegas, and like I was like, go have fun, do live it up, do whatever you want to do. And guess who was contacting me the whole time he was in Vegas? I didn't initiate any texts on any level. He was the one
Right.
contacting me the whole entire time.
There you go.
So
Ladies.
like
That's
so
it.
anxious to get back to me. And even now I'm like, babe, go out, have fun with your friends. I'll see you when I see you. And because of that, he wants to see me
More.
more.
Yeah.
And this person like just does like I'm his girl, so he just wants to take care of me. Like a couple weeks ago, like I've never had a man ever make me a picnic. He cooked me a picnic. I was out in Santa Monica with a girlfriend having coffee. He came all the way out to Santa Monica from Pasadena to have a picnic with me.
Yeah, I get it.
That's amazing.
I've done it. I get it. I've done it.
And then he just does like little things. Like
Yeah.
sometimes he'll just take my purse out of my hand when we're walking to the car because he's like, I'm going to carry this for you. And he won't let me carry it.
That's so cute.
Ladies,
Oh
that's
my
what a
God.
man
Sounds
does.
Sounds like he just can't help
He's-
himself.
No.
Yeah,
He's just
exactly.
beside himself.
He's
Yeah,
smitten.
I love
He's
it.
He
completely,
is-
completely smitten.
And
He's-
I never had a man be this smitten with me ever in my entire life.
You've never been
Wow.
that girl.
That's true. And
You've never been that girl.
this is the first time a man has actually asked me to be his girlfriend. I didn't have to have the relationship talk. He
Yeah.
asked me to be his girlfriend.
Can I tell you what I think the magic is? Well, I'm going to tell you what I know the magic is that this is a guy, he's 32 years old.
34.
Right?
Yeah.
34. So
Yeah.
he's a millennial. He's right on the line of millennial. This culture that says men are less than, men are shitty, men are toxic, men can't be trusted, whatever. And she's doing the exact opposite, right? By not telling him that he's wrong, by not telling him what to do, by not telling him, he needs to correct this, correct this, correct this. He actually feels that he's
empowered.
He's empowered, but not only that,
Feels
like
masculine.
yes, like
Yeah.
so he's never wrong for being himself.
Right.
He's never met a girl like you.
No.
He's never felt that before because in the culture it's really kind of the opposite, right? Like we wouldn't go after a man to fix him, to make him act right, to make him act like a woman, right? She's doing none of that. So
Didn't have that.
his essence as a man is like he has permission to be himself. Plus, he's encouraged to be himself more. You feel it?
Yeah.
This is what's happening here. So
Yeah.
it's all you. He's responding to you in a way that he's never experienced before, and that's why he's cooked. He's put a fork in the guy. He's done.
Even the way that I respond to his friends, it's so funny. It's even like I guess this is something even new for him. His friends adore me. Like his best friend.
Well, look what you doing to him.
Well, exactly. That's why.
That's what he said. They're all watching. Look what she's doing to
yeah.
him.
No, he actually says my friends have not seen me this happy in a long time.
Oh, wow.
Like his best friend last night. I went to go see him at work, and his best friend last night saw him, and he's like, and then my boyfriend mentioned that I was there, and guess what? His friend turned around and came over and talked to me instead.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. I get it. I get it. It's
Yeah.
like,
This is so inspiring.
Yeah.
but you see
it
how
is.
simple that is, right? Like
Yeah.
Right.
all she does is actually letting him be himself. That validates that he's a good person,
Yeah.
right? Because he is a good guy, as opposed to being wrong for having a penis and being a
Right.
male in the world. So all of a sudden, like, what it feels like to a man, to me, because
Yeah.
it happens to me too, because
Right.
I come across these ladies and I come across the opposite, like you. It's like the feeling of like, oh my God, it's a woman who likes a man. This woman likes men. You know what I mean? And so how the culture gets it wrong is this, like anti-male right now, right?
Yeah.
So even if he's an okay guy, when you treat him like this, he becomes a better guy.
Yes.
Yes.
You lift him up because now he's okay. There's nothing for him that he's not shamed for being a male and not shamed for what he does, what he brings, and she gives the freedom to have and the space, to be away from her, which gives him freedom, and all he wants to do is come back to her.
Yeah.
That's the magnet.
It's beauty.
Wow.
Are you with me? This is
Yeah.
absolutely fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
cursing.
God, this is insane.
I'm cursing because you see, are you with me? So, that's. I can't wait to see the reaction to this podcast. Seriously,
me too.
I can't
Me
wait
too.
because you
It's
close.
been amazing.
I always talk about this stuff, but it's abstract because I'm a dude,
Totally.
and I give you example, but like this was from like an actual, experience. Like this is life for real. This is happening from the horse's mouth. Oh yeah. So this is what's the word?
Surreal? Or
Well, I mean, this is where this whole thing is taking us all that last year to get to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So now
Right.
the idea of bringing
Right.
guests and actually, making it sort of like taking it deeper for even more understanding is the magic.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
Really awesome.
Thank you.
So Tess, why don't
Yeah.
you tell us how
Sure.
our podcaster could find us and
Sure. So the Facebook page is Project Equinox with Andre Paradis. We have content on there all the time. The website is projectequinox.net. We have audio clips. We have blog, written material. We have YouTube links. And the podcast is on there as well. And go ahead and subscribe. We have content weekly as well.
yes, so you get a newsletter every week about the podcast of the week. So it's written material. It's kind of a version of this, but then kind of takes you there first. I think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. And this is also where you can check out, Andre does live events.
Yes.
He does personal coaching.
Yes.
His number, email right there. So go ahead
Yes.
and check that out.
And if you want to come and join us, on the on the fourth microphone, I call it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is where you come and tap in. Email me. It's on the website, andrecoaching1 at gmail.com. And then you could be microphone them before, and you don't have to be in studio. We can actually do it on Skype and do it like over the computer. So you can be anywhere in the world if you want to join us and play with us and add the part. What I'm looking for is, your experience of what's happening in the world that's not working, that everybody thinks is better, and then you just realize it's not.
Yeah.
Which is what I do, right? So what you want to bring, please bring it, because it's my job my mission is to change the culture back into a place where we can dance together as opposed to be in such opposition that nothing good can happen there.
Yeah.
And I think it's a terrible thing. So on that note, next week,
Yeah.
I don't know which guest. I think next week we'll bring in actually teenagers on, teenage boys.
yeah.
Who are going to help us
awesome.
understand what's happening in their world, in the culture, and it could be frightening, I think.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little
We
frightening.
have a little bit of unknown territory there.
Unknown territory,
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
I've had conversation with them, and they're, so again, it's more of what's really happening out there, and
Right.
how do we maybe remedy it a little bit.
Yeah.
So on that note, thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Davene,
Thank you.
Davene, Nancy, Tess, thank you so much.
Thank you, Andre.
Thank you.
Next week will be a new adventure.
Yeah. See you guys
Till
next
then,
week.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.